your beat, by the way.
What's going on, y'all? We are here with another episode of The Corner. This is episode 27, and it is entitled, Are You the Father? So, it's definitely going to be an interesting topic, man. I've seen some people go through some things that were unforgivable. Yeah. But, we're going to definitely jump into the topic. We're going to stretch it out and just kind of see where our head's at on that topic, man. So, we're going to kick it off. To my right, we got
Mac.
Silk. Okay, one.
Anthony.
And this is another episode of The Corner. 27. Are you the father? Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a father that I know of. But there have been some... We'll jump right into it. We feel the same. Right. But there have been some questionable circumstances around some situations. But
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Some tough stuff there. But sip on that. But as far as are you the father, and I guess like we were just discussing the new laws that are trying to be put into place for mandated paternity tests and stuff after birth, which I, especially with personal experience, definitely agree with. Like, I'm not saying, maybe not so much an iron fist enforce it, but I would like for there to be some sort of nudge towards that direction, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, all right, maybe you sure you don't want the test? Like, offer it, maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there's a lot of fathers out there that'd be like, you know what? You was acting sketchy a little bit ago. Go ahead and get that test done. Like, that baby's a little bit too like it, you know what I'm saying?
Not too like it.
I had a white baby. So I can't
She was bright.
Boy, light bright. Talking about super
She still glow too. Like,
always too. Talking about holding her, I was like, damn, she looked like me, but boy, she white as hell.
Kept saying, where you been?
Then with a white dude that looked like me. So,
that'd be wild.
That'd be wild.
See, hold up.
But
knew that hair was a little bit too wavy down. Oh, dude.
Yeah, you know what she want. Go ahead and get it.
Yeah, just get
you know
it.
What she want.
She part of the cast now, bro.
We got a new cast member.
Welcome to the
You
table.
already know it's Olivia up in his house.
You're trying to do your voice as best as I can.
He is the father. I am the father.
He is the
yes.
father.
Out of pack.
But thank God, I've never went through this situation, but like I said, I've seen a lot of people that have, and I don't necessarily look at the law as a crutch or a strain on anyone. I mean, it's just a legitimate question. Like, if the guy feels that, hey, I might not be the father, he might just want to check it out and see. And then the funny thing is, a lot of situations, like, the woman in the situation doesn't necessarily give off that vibe like she's been with other men or anything like that, so you wouldn't even think twice about it. But I've seen situations where, lo and behold, you were not the pappy. So, I don't know what I do in that situation. Like, here I am now, my son's 3 years old. I know he's mine.
Right.
Every fiber in my being knows he's mine. Yeah. Like, he has my mannerisms. He likes stuff I like. There's no way that's not my child.
Right.
So, I'm confident in that. I'm confident in that. So, like I said, but I don't have the experience on it. So, it would devastate me to find that out that he wasn't. I'm just, I'm talking about.
Pissed, nigga. So much anger.
There's a lot of things that would be happening up there.
Man, listen. Boy,
I got an interesting question. So, let's say we decide to take
you decided to take one years down the road, just decided to take paternity test, not necessarily because you don't feel confident that the child is yours. You just want to have just for information.
Security, you know.
But
Yeah,
for shits
right.
and giggles, just to go take a paternity.
I'm not calling it for shits and giggles.
It's just,
Saying like, because you're not worried why you take it.
Let me just really
make sure.
truly see. But I mean, okay, maybe it's since it. Oh, yes.
I know. I'm just saying. In my case, it was because of child support. You need paternity test to
Yeah.
get child support.
Okay. Got you.
Oh, you gonna elaborate on that?
But yeah, we're gonna get back to that. But yeah, not necessarily just for.
No, I'm talking about. Yeah, no. Flip this whole table over.
Man,
you gonna talk about this now?
Boy, no,
rough episode. It's what it mean.
Damn.
Go ahead, bro.
Sorry.
No, y'all good. But yeah, not necessarily just for shits and giggles, but just to have information. I would imagine if like me for example, if I were to take one, I know she's mine, and if I were to take it, and it, the test just happens, just for clarification, says that, I am the father, I probably wouldn't even. I'll just hold that with myself. Now I can go on with my life,
Knowing.
I do know for a fact that the baby is mine, So now, for example, well, what happens if we go? Wow. Let's we go through all the years, and you decide you want to take the test, and it comes out negative.
The hurt, the betrayal.
Right. Now that comes along with it. So now, you've been in this baby's life for years. Do you still feel obligated to stay in that child's life?
Yes. I guess that's speaking from somebody that's wanted to be a father anyway. I feel like if you've been around for this child's basically developmental years and have raised this child as your own, and as far as they know, you are their father, I feel like taking yourself out of that child's life is, I guess you could say wrong, but like I feel like
Would it be wrong though?
that's not fair on the child's part. The child had nothing to do with that decision. They can't, they didn't make the decision to not be yours.
Your fault that
Right.
they got damn mama.
I mean, and that's fair. But I'm saying, like, if you had your hand in raising this child, like if we're saying years, like this child is your child basically anyway. I feel like if you have the emotional cutoff to where you can raise a child and be like, oh, you're not mine. Bye. That's messed up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Look, I'ma still be in your life, but just you can't call me daddy because that's just gonna bring back the hurt.
See, and that would hurt the child.
Call me unc. Call me unc.
I feel like you asking too much from
Just call me by my
A
name.
kid, yeah. What age?
Yeah.
Well, y'all said years, so I'm thinking like down the line, like 17, 18. Like, look,
Oh, that's too late.
Hey, look, fam.
I mean,
like,
at that point, yeah, I guess
look,
we could
fam,
just
you're gonna have to call me unc, cause I ain't your daddy. You feel me?
See,
I'll take a different approach. I don't know if I would, I would really have to think about that because that's a whole lot of years,
right?
That's gone. And I'm not saying that would be, that was ill spent because, I would imagine that I spent quality time with the child, but then to just have it abruptly, okay, just have it, a test coming back negative. I'd have been in this child's life for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, things like that. That's a whole lot of time spent. That's a whole lot of money spent. That could have went to other avenues.
Your own life.
My own life and things like that. So I guess I'm not sure if I could even give a definite answer if I would be if I would still be involved or not.
Right.
Because. Like I said, whoever I would be dealing with now lied to me for 5, 6, 7 years.
That's what I was gonna touch on.
Right.
Yeah, that's a long ass time to be, holding that type of information, and then for me to still feel obligated to stay in the child's life, it's like you still, you still ask for me to do that after you just lied to me,
Right.
After you held this lie, for that many years. you know, that's time I can't personally get back.
I mean,
You know, to focus on myself, I have to start back from ground zero.
I feel like I don't think your obligation would be to the mother of that child. To me, the obligation would be more to that child. If you've legitimately full time, like especially been living with this child for their entire existence,
Yeah.
and like I said, as far as they know, you're still their father. To me, like I said, the obligation isn't with the mother. If the mother's been lying to you for that long, then she can just go kick rocks somewhere. I don't really be that way. But as far as the kid, I would leave that more or less up to, I guess that you got to discuss with the mother how you're going to arrange it. But to me, I feel like it would be almost like if the child is asking for you, then okay, sure, I'm going to still come around, hang out, we'll go to the park, eat ice cream, whatever.
Yeah.
The mother can be gone. But as far as the good of the kid, I feel like it would be the more solid option to still at least be around. Maybe not still as hands-on as you were in the past, but to still be at least accessible to the child. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're all that kid knows.
True.
As a father. Right. So to just abruptly just like, oh, well, you're not mine, and then just dip like all together, to me, that's damaging to the child. Because then, I mean, maybe they're still young enough to kind of get around it, you know, growing up, but like some kids are really with it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a main character disappearing out of their life might actually alter the way they handle something, you know what I'm saying? Like they were there for me that long and then poof, now they're gone. Yeah. That could, I don't know, desensitize that child to future situations, whereas like things could be, you know, really great, really awesome for so long, and then they can have such a detachment to where it's like, oh, poof, all right, well, he walked away from me, so I guess I can just walk away from this situation, you know what I'm saying? And that's a toxic way to go about life to me.
I got you. I can feel you on that, but I don't think I necessarily think that's a, you know, the dad would be wrong, you know, because in his own right, you would have the right to
walk away.
Know,
like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not judging,
you know,
I'm not judging the person that would walk away. I'm saying from my perspective, my standpoint, I would feel more or less obligated, like I said, to at least be accessible to the child. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I mean, this.
I was just telling y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a story. This true life, real life.
Okay.
I have a friend. She's in her 30s, mid 30s. She took the 23andMe test. Come back, she was like, "Hey sis, who are these people?" And she was like, "I don't know. Let me take the test, see can I match with the same people." Come find out, that wasn't her dad.
Just off of 23andMe.
Yeah, because 23andMe link you with your family members from both sides. And then it came back as, this is your half sister, not your full sister. Now, they're in their 30s, 40s. How would you feel as a dad then? Like, see that your 30-year-old child is not your child.
Then
you better raise
mama.
them.
Like, yo, what the fuck?
I mean, after 35 years, what can you really do?
I mean, you can't. I mean, there's not so much that you can actually do, but you certainly sure about to have this earful of my head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to
earful.
Like, I'm about to let it be known. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like they whole adults and you still ain't. Like, at least to me, I feel like once the children have moved out of the house or something, there should have been like, okay, so. Maybe now that, you know, there's more environment.
I wish you try to sit me down and come to me as a woman like, hey, so after 35 years, that's not your child.
I mean, how would you expect them to handle that situation?
I don't know, but I'm not handling. You ain't gonna sit me down and have this conversation. If you like this is my thing. If you knowingly knew, that's a problem in itself.
Yeah.
Now, if you really did not know, if you thought like maybe like I think it's him, but I really feel like it's him. Like, I feel like my wife, when we had our son or whatever, she knew we was going to have a boy. But she wanted it to be a girl. I feel like for some people, there's just something in their head that they know. So I just feel like you're not going to stretch me on for this long and not know. You know what I mean?
That's fair enough.
So it's
like I said, you're going to get an earful.
So you know, I mean, you know I'm going to pop off. But I look at it like this now. If we going from a 3-year-old to a 35-year-old, 3-year-old, you might get slide out of that. 35-year-old, you already invested. You might as well embrace the suck. That's your kid. That's your kid.
So you gonna embrace the grandkids too?
So when
you gonna embrace the grandkids?
I probably will. Like I said, you're in that life now. Like just say if you was a stepfather, you've been there that long. that's my kid.
Right.
You know, it's almost like, yeah, I can't just turn you away. But then it's just like, if we get to the point where the child's 3 years old and you knew this whole time, you only knew that this was not my child. I done provided for this child and everything, and now it's just like, oh yeah, this is not your kid. I gotta gradually move myself out of that situation because I'm liable to snap because you know I'm not gonna have the same relationship with you or whatever. Like, how can I look at you the same knowing you lied to me about my child? I held this shit. Yeah. No, I'm talking about 3-year-old.
Oh,
you talking about 35? Yeah, that's 35. You might as well just go ahead and roll with the flow.
I'll make my point.
It's still gonna be talking.
You 60 years old.
I'm gonna be mad as hell, boy. I'm gonna be like, what the
And I
fuck?
feel you.
Like, hold the
And
hell up.
I feel you. Which is why I'm, you know, like Tony was saying, you know, I'm for this day and age now, I am pro paternity test right after birth. Because I just feel as though it would just eliminate all of that guesswork right then and there.
Now,
you know
the only thing that I say about the laws and everything that are being developed today, wrong time. Like, there's so much happening and everybody's so sensitive because there's so much happening that, like, there's, I guess, I don't want to say pushing an agenda, but, like, there's trying to bring control to the chaos and then they're stirring it up. And as far as, like, with it being 2021 and everybody just triggered off of the most minor thing, you've got, you know, let's just say feminists or whatever on one side of this talking about my body, my choice type shit. And honestly, like, you can want to argue that point, but technically it is being grown and developed in their bodies. So, like, you know, they should have some say-so on how things go. But in today's culture also, people are being a lot more wild and, you know, experimental with shit and things like that. So it's just like, I mean, if you're going to live a certain lifestyle, there needs to be some sort of checks and balance there to kind of, like, you know, make sure at least everybody knows what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, hell, I think, honestly, like, this is kind of a sidebar. I think, honestly, there needs to be, like, mandatory yearly fucking STD screenings and stuff like that. Like, because folks are wild. Boy, like, they getting down. And like I said, that whole polyamorous wave that hit a couple years ago just damn took off. Like, so as far as, like, figuring, like, are you a father?
It's been a thing. It's just not. It's more popular
but
now.
it's like the bubble burst recently. You know what I'm saying? And
And
so, like, as far as that goes, I feel like putting laws like this in effect definitely is sort of a knowledgeable thing to do. Because people are legitimately stepping out and doing a little bit, at least now, more openly stepping out and doing things a little bit different than what the traditional standard for what you would think relationships and things like that would go.
Gotcha.
So as far as the laws, I think not a bad thing, but should have been done before the climate today became what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like introducing, hey, this is what it's going to be now, you're going to automatically have, because like you talking about the last couple of years, everybody done had something to say about something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as far as right now pushing something like that, you're going to have pushback. Like, it's going to happen.
It's fine, but I honestly think it's necessary too.
It is. Like I said, I don't look at it as a
Yeah.
bad thing, but you're going to have those naysayers that are like anti-establishment, and it's like, oh no, this is my body, like you ain't doing nothing that...
And that's fine, but you know, especially with the, with the women, they know the baby belongs to them no matter what man came into them, because they got to carry that baby for 9 months. They got to. We don't have that capability. We don't have that superpower.
Exactly. Which
you know,
it levels the playing field as far as that.
Yes. Goes. Yeah. Absolutely.
But also does, I guess, cross some personal boundaries on the other side of that.
Time heals all, man.
This is definitely a generation of jumping over one hurdle and looking for the next. So, like,
if you're that couple, and if just say the law was mandated that you would have to, just know that it's not really the guy that's saying that, we need to make this thing. Now it is law, but now, like I said, it would eliminate guesswork. Mm-hmm. There will be cases where if it wasn't mandated, I would still say,
can we
come out your pocket? Come out your pockets. Take the test for yourself. Especially if you honestly 100% feel you're not sure that this is your kid. Sure you were sexually active with the lady,
right?
But if you still your
you
heart
sure
of
you're
hearts,
the only one that was sexually active
that
with
too.
the lady,
Because like we said, folks is wild nowadays. 2021, folks is wild. You know,
I think we forgetting about the 70s, but I mean, okay.
that too.
But again, the 70s were kind of openly looked at as a wild phase by the people who weren't participating in the same thing as like hippies and free spirit, free living, all types of shit like that. So it was still kind of people look down their noses at those people. You know what I'm saying?
And history rhymes. You know, like people say history repeats. It rhymes. You know, it's a different pattern. You know, different cadence.
Absolutely.
But it absolutely rhymes. You know, so I would definitely still say, you know, if you honestly aren't sure, you know, me as the man, you know, I'll come out of my own pockets to take a test.
Right, to be sure.
And just to be
because that's
sure.
a major life-altering
It is.
event.
It is, you know, and I mean, now waiting all the way up to 35 years, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I still kind of
shot.
No, we not shooting nobody. Stop it. Why you gotta shoot?
Stop it.
Get help.
That's 35
You gonna be
years,
60
bro.
though.
That's 35
You gonna be 60.
years.
Then you gonna air it out. You gonna air it out after 35
No,
years.
I'm not airing it out. I just said somebody getting shot.
No,
That
one
one
person
person's getting shot.
You don't
It
have to shoot
ain't mean
nobody.
killing them.
What's
like,
his name?
Right.
Ain't gonna kill the person.
Because you
but
know what? The
somebody gotta
problem
get shot.
that society has been looking over is maternity fraud. That has been the least, in my opinion, that's been the least talked about subject amongst society because, folks just been getting away with it.
Right.
Like there's plenty of stories where, you know, the man has been in the child's life for 18, 20 plus years, and then come to find out the child was never there, never his.
Right.
Confront the wife about it or a girlfriend or whatever, and she was like, well, and then nothing happens. You know, no punishment, no type of accountability or anything like that. Yeah, but see, we say that's too late, but that's a
it's
problem.
fresh to me. Like
That's
you know
that's a
yeah.
problem.
I'm
I
just
put
saying
20
18 years.
Yeah.
I get that, but now
That's-
they're adult. Now it's no longer.
But where's my get back then?
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Where
Spilled
is
milk,
that?
boy. Like
Because I mean,
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
gonna say this: like when my son was born, that's when I realized how much of a single mother culture we're living in. Because when my son was born, I'm talking about they didn't ask me no questions. I'm like,
They ain't ask me no questions.
I'm like,
either.
I'm the husband. I've been dealing with my wife. I can answer some questions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that she's going through. She's told me if I watch, I can answer some of these questions. They wouldn't ask me shit. They were like, hey mom, how are you feeling? Hey mom, hey. I'm like,
The
I'm quite
hospital-
trying to recover.
The hospital I was at, I ain't gonna name it, but the hospital I was at, you know, they provide cooked foods for, you know, the mother. I'm like, oh man, do I get a plate too? No, but we have McDonald's downstairs.
right.
I don't wanna eat that shit. Like I
barely got a sandwich and some juice.
She had grilled salmon. She had grilled salmon and broccoli and rice.
Heavy L.
Shit was good. But I gotta go get McDonald's. And then on top of that, she's still hungry.
I think I know what hospital you're talking about.
Oh yeah, you do.
We ain't gonna name it though.
Yeah, but when I had my aplastic anemia because my mother was a caretaker, she always got a meal.
Was it on the side?
No, they
Top side hospital?
No, they
Hey,
brought
to
me in
y'all.
them.
Oh, okay. Got you.
And Kelsey had they were asking me all the questions, probably because
Really?
of the situation that
Yeah,
Kelsey had.
Oh, okay.
that was a
You know what I'm saying? So that
That
was,
was
and then as far I get the whole they don't give the dads no meals because they don't. But Kelsey wasn't eating her shit, so guess who got to eat that?
I'm hungry too though. Like
I had to go out and get me Waffle House. It was like,
But
the
I
meals are
just-
really fucking.
basically they're looking at it as you're not the one that just pushed the person.
You're right.
out.
Fine,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
but I still had to cut off from work to get to the hospital.
I
In
gotta
the
sit up,
rain.
though. I gotta
In
sit up.
the rain.
They don't give you no bed either. We gotta
No
sleep on
bed.
that sofa.
Oh,
That
man.
hard ass
Right.
couch.
But I'm saying, though,
I ain't get to shower.
I mean, you had to
know what I'm saying? Like-
standing up to childbirth, like, not even a little bit.
Thank you,
So,
man.
It ain't.
We ain't knocking it.
It's definitely
We ain't
not.
knocking it.
like if there's logic there, I try to see it. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
fish too, though. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, but you ain't push a baby out. You feel me? Like,
But I like
you
fish.
ain't laid up in here with an epidural and
So
shit.
we
Like,
gotta set up
She didn't either.
oh shit. Oh well.
No,
we gotta
you
set
got
up
a
this
trooper right
thing.
here, boy.
Nah, she was an OG. I ain't gonna
So
lie
we
to
gotta set up that stank for however many days, cause I had to be up in there for.
I remember like it was a week at least.
Like a whole week.
Yeah,
yeah, like a whole week.
Yeah.
In that bit for like a week, boy. Like,
blowing
that was
down
crazy.
the parking garage, boy.
a week.
I didn't shower until like the last day. And I was like, yeah, I'm not
Man,
gonna
I did get to go home like the second and a half day. My mom, she came back up there. She was like, "Yeah, go home and take your shower and all that." So I went home and took a shower. She met up with y'all too. Goddamn, smoked in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That sound
A
right.
couple times.
Yeah,
Hey, you trying to go get some of this hibachi?
That sound about right. But anyways,
Yeah, back to
back to the thing. Maternity fraud is a real thing. I just feel like it just doesn't get talked about enough.
Right.
Because, you know, we're brought up in, I guess as far as men, we're brought up in a society where, you know, hey, you just gotta suck it up.
Pretty much.
It is, you know, it is what it is. You've been in your child's life for 25 years. I mean, hey,
I've got
better luck next time.
I've got nothing against the child. That's all the mom. Like,
Yeah, nah, it's
legit,
never against
like,
the child.
It don't matter. Like, she could have not known, but still, you did something that made this child not mine. So we still definitely thought
I got it. P game, right?
Mm.
So what if, my nigga, she was pregnant before y'all got together? She ain't know it.
Yeah.
She ain't
I
know
mean,
it.
and
You ain't know it. Y'all got together. Y'all did the nasty
you've
and all that.
actually
She
seen the
found out that she was
relationship pretty
pregnant.
similar to that.
You
Actually.
feel me?
So,
And then
that
y'all
happens.
both just automatically think it's y'all. Y'all don't do
Right.
no paternity test, but then later on down the road y'all do, and then it ain't yours. And then what?
Why she still stepping out?
As far
It
as
wasn't stepping out. No, it's not stepping out. It's before y'all got together.
right for you.
If the woman was already, let's say she was like 2 weeks pregnant, didn't even know it. Y'all get together.
Hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Really?
I'm saying y'all get together. You know what I'm saying? She didn't know
That
she was 2 weeks pregnant. Y'all get together. You know, y'all do the nasty and all that. Y'all just madly in love with each other. And
Some
all
people
that
don't wait
shit.
3 months.
And
You
another
feel
thing is like you spoke on a heavily like feminine sided argument, you know, as far as like the whole issue. Whereas like if you've been with this person and you know a perfect point where it's like she doesn't know she was pregnant and shit like that, and when you get down the line and find out it's not yours, I mean, clearly you're still gonna be upset. But if neither one of you knew, there's a lot of you can be mad, but you can't be that mad.
You
And,
can't be
I've
mad
seen
at nobody.
I've seen a whole bunch of relationships start where the female didn't know she was pregnant. And this is why I'm saying these times are definitely different, because folks is like, oh, well, you know, they out here living their best life, and then a week later, oh, I love this, you know, person, I'm gonna be with them forever, blah, blah, blah. And then they have a baby, and then poof. You know, I was already a couple months pregnant before we got together, and it's that third, now here comes this baby. And now, what do you do in that situation? Do you take, well, you know, I have feelings for you, and all that. Do you take over the reins of being that father in that child's life?
Hell, the stepfather,
That's
as far as the real daddy, shit, you better hit that nigga up. Like, hell nah, hit that nigga up, cause he owe you some money. Hell, like, shit, hit him up. Shit, I mean, of course I'm gonna still be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there for the kid as the stepfather and stuff. But it ain't really my baby. You feel what I'm saying? It's not my baby. It's not my blood.
Not
It's my child, but it's not my blood.
But technically it's not because you didn't shoot the club up.
I mean,
And
still,
they already fertilized.
but still though, like if the woman was already pregnant and you knew the woman was pregnant and something, or is that?
But he's saying that nobody knew
Nobody
she was pregnant
knew,
up
like,
until
she-
she
exactly,
started
until it
developing.
happened,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You still hitting that
Up to
nigga
once.
up like shit. Hit that
But
nigga
there
up.
has been a lot of abuse that way where I've seen where they know they're pregnant and continue on with a regular life before they're shown and everything, and then a pregnancy happens and it's whoever they're with at the time's baby. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the laws in effect would take out a lot of question marks, you know what I'm saying, from the situation where it's like, okay, it's fresh out, let's get this paternity test going, blah, 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 and, you know, find out whether or not you're the father and whatnot. Without that in place, how many question marks are walking around out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's a valid argument, because I'm one of them. Like, you feel me?
Okay.
Like,
All right.
and so, yeah. So when it comes to something like that, I feel like, especially from the father's point of view, we are definitely evening the playing field, I guess, as far as like being in the loop on what's actually happening. Because like you said, you carried the baby, so you definitely know you're the mother.
Yes.
I don't 100% know for a fact that I'm the father. Like, okay, we had, we weren't on the rocks, everything was cool and everything, and you was acting normal. Ain't no, like, there's folks really actually putting on them charades out there where everything's cool and they still stepping out on the weekends or something, you know what I'm saying? And so I think having them tests in place would definitely, like I said, even the playing field.
I believe so too, yeah.
Now, whether or not it's something that will peacefully be attained, I'm not really sure about, because, again, we're in the age
it'd probably be about 50-50. 50 with, like, what he was saying, like, how some people would react to the whole thing, because I kind of feel that, like, it might be some women out there, like, oh, you want a paternity test? What, so you think I just been out there,
right.
fucking niggas, like, you know what I'm saying?
And they be doing it, but that's what I'm saying. And the crazy thing is, they put that same act on and be actually out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So obviously you was.
So you was.
yeah. Again, personal damn experience. Like, oh, you couldn't stand that nigga, but we break up and then hear this come. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? You feel me? Like, where did baby come from?
Yeah. It's just one of those things where and like you said, it's just one of those things where I guess the trust factor would be in play. But I mean, hell, what's a relationship without friction? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
This type of shit's got to be talked about.
Right. There is no great relationship that's all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, there is the special cases of the people that grew up in bubbles and everything just kind of happens to fall together. But that's not how the real world works. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's not how the real world works. So,
Yeah.
Who do y'all know? Because I don't know.
I mean,
it
I know some folks.
happens.
Yeah,
There's
I know some
I
folks.
can't, I could Google it right now, but that would take time. But there's maternity fraud. It happens. Like, we're not saying that.
happens. Like, 'cause
We
like
can't
you
say
can-
that it don't happen.
For
Come on,
example,
obviously. You can't say that it
I'm
don't
not saying-
happen.
I'm not saying-
For example, Michael Jackson got kids that don't look
nothing like hell
that,
no.
But he showing up playing them motherfuckers like,
Right.
you feel me? Like, I ain't got. That's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't got nothing against Paris. That's a beautiful young woman. But as far as like
straight white,
that's what
blue
yeah.
eyed children,
Yeah.
come on now. Like, that's, like, I mean,
Come on now.
if you showed a little bit of mixture as far as everything else with some blue eyes, I could kind of halfway get with it. But you look straight up from the mountains of the Caucasus. Like, you feel me?
Mike came from a black family from Gary,
exactly.
Indiana.
Yeah, but damn, what you look like today?
Ain't no
right, you know what I'm saying? So,
Ain't no way you gonna stick that man dick in a white woman and the kids just come out
pure white.
Pure white, like, come on, dog. Where the nigga nose at? Like, come on, bro.
Bell pepper now.
Hey,
Hey,
bro,
what's up?
like, what I got down?
You got a hard little
little
bridge
hair,
going
like,
on there.
Come on, bro. Your baby supposed to come out looking like Jason Kidd or something. You feel me?
Exactly.
Like, these
Right.
niggas coming out looking
Facts.
like what? Come on,
Man.
bro. Looking like Steve Nash. You feel me?
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, at all.
It's not like they
Paris,
supposed to be.
that's exactly what Paris look
Bro,
like.
I'm
She
telling
look
you,
like
they
she
supposed to
came-
come out looking like Lonzo and LaMelo Ball. Right. You don't supposed to come out looking like no whole white man. Like, come on, y'all look like straight up white people. Like, come on, bro. Like,
But that's just showing proof that maternity fraud happens. It does. And then I guess in Mike's case,
the biggest
That,
fraud of
that
all
might be a
time.
little bit different, but it was just a prime example. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
he claimed them,
And
but
he
they
claimed-
don't
yeah,
look
he
nothing
claimed them.
like him.
Right.
And there's
Nothing
fathers out here claiming kids that don't
look
look
like
them.
yeah,
You know what I'm
He
saying?
told y'all what was up in Billie Jean. He told
I
y'all
mean,
what was up.
But that's cool.
and he was black doing it.
He
he let us know. He let us know, nigga, this shit is real.
He is not my son. You heard me? Like,
This shit is real.
But,
She's just a girl that claims I'm the one. Nah, fam.
the kid. I
no,
mean,
you wild up claiming them though.
Nope. And she ain't even my lover. That's what he said.
It was a one-time thing.
That was just a one-time thing.
he knew them wasn't his kid. That's why he tried to throw one of them over the balcony.
He's a.
You don't say my damn baby. I'm gonna get this nigga report on national TV. I'm telling you, bro. Like, that's why he did that.
Let me
He
tell
like,
you
oh, bitch, you got me fucked up. Bring this little nigga here. What the fuck? Like, you really just at my kid? Like, nah, come on, dog.
He probably was some shit there, but like, I'm
This
fuck with y'all.
Yeah, take a sip on that one. Yeah.
Just think about it, bro. Think about it. I'm telling you.
I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying you're right either, though.
Nobody can know that. I'm not gonna know
The
that.
world may never know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But trolling that, man.
But this shit is real. This shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
I guess from my stance, I don't even call it political stance. Just morality.
You still own the shit.
Oh, my bad.
That's bad.
I'm just saying for
Paris model. That's it.
fine. Yeah,
Like I ain't seen no damn
Yeah.
dancing, singing, nothing.
yeah. Yeah, so not even from a political stance, just from a morality stance, I firmly think that it should be mandated, you know, or just another add-on to the medical bill.
Right. That's
You know,
like
okay.
you already got
We already got an ass load.
You might as well throw that on the tab.
Yeah,
I
and
get
you know,
that.
just few $100. All right, yeah, run it. Just go ahead, run. What could hurt?
Facts.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely think it should be an option. I don't think it should be.
Like I said, like
straight
I
out
can
the
see
gate,
something like that being a thing where it's like, you know, at least have that suggested, like, hey, would you like a paternity test with this? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, while you in the hospital, you already got
You know
about to wrap up anyway.
And I can still make the decision, yes or no.
I don't even think it should be an option.
You think it should just be?
So basically, what you saying is just straight out the gate, like
That
let's
is
just
what it
take out
is.
the guesswork. I don't even want to,
Right.
wonder. Just
But
go
it's
ahead.
not
and knock
bad.
it out. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, but I just feel like if you know, you know. But I mean, like you said, paternity fraud is a big thing. But at the end of the day, it's just like if he want to go down that road and then he find out later on, that's on him. That's on him.
Right.
I don't think it should be mandated.
That's how they should do it. A doctor or a nurse should look at the father and be like,
Damn.
come here. I'm trying to get him money.
That's
I'm
fine.
trying to.
Like just like drugs.
Yeah, like-
So you make it optionally discreet?
Yeah, man.
I don't
Like
say
I said,
I'm
man, there
street.
might be some women out there that be like, "Oh, nigga, for real." So you don't think the baby yours? So
Yeah,
that's what it is. Come to the daddy.
How many folks been on Maury acting just like that?
You feel me? So, hey,
Facts.
come to the daddy.
Just
be
for
like,
the
hey,
child to
brother,
not be
like,
hit.
Right.
Be like, hey, partner, come here. What you doing? Hey, look, you want a paternity test?
I don't think it should be.
Yeah,
discreet.
go ahead.
I don't think it can be discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the mother has.
Because you gotta get DNA from the child.
Yeah, because she
I mean,
has
but,
to say
hey,
so
the
the
mother
child
has a
before you
certain
get
type of
married.
right.
They take the baby to
Right,
clean the
yeah,
baby when the
exactly.
mama laying on the bed. Like,
Exactly.
Kelsey ain't know nothing what happened to Zay, but I had to tell her what happened to Zay. So, you know, while you're cleaning the baby, take a little cotton swab. Right in the mouth, you feel me? Right in the mouth. Tell the daddy to come here real quick. Come here, pop. Wop, wop, wop. We'll have your results in 4 hours, probably.
Hey,
Sit there,
I believe prior to the labor or whatever, all that should be discussed already. Like, hey, once the delivery's done and all that, would you like a paternity test? Blah, blah, blah. It's talked amongst the father and the mother, blah, blah, blah.
Could be.
Boom.
Yeah.
Do that because this whole secrecy
Okay,
shit
look,
and all that
I mean,
stuff.
yeah, there's a
They
lot
talk
of
about
it.
from that. Yeah.
Talk about it, but it ain't no would you like. You're like, look, let me break it down to you, baby. Let me break it down to you, partner. When the baby come, y'all doing a paternity test. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're gonna go
Well, I
ahead
mean,
and
that's the
do it.
laws.
Now,
we're trying
but
to put
check
in,
this
but
though.
that's-
Just check this though. What if it's discreet and he find out he's not, but he still saves?
Then that's
I
on
mean,
him.
that's on him.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's
that's
on
on
him.
him.
We're not saying that if he says
Right.
that it's wrong.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying
saying,
just question
they should do
it,
it
you know.
secretively. So if
And
the
that's-
father find
yeah.
out it ain't his, he can be when
He
he
has
come in
the
the room,
option
he
to
can
leave
look
if
at
he
her
wants
like.
to.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what he gonna do for the rest of the time. Like you.
Oh,
dirty.
for real.
But see, that's the option.
That's how you gonna do me.
That's the option.
I
Now, if he
just-
decides to stay, that's on him. But
Yeah.
he's not in the wrong if he decides to leave.
Right.
Once they have that test right then and there.
No. I just think just
Yeah.
be discreet. Just kind of breaking trust.
Oh no, I don't condone discreet. No.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I just,
but
but
if
no,
it
I
ain't
feel like
his,
if you already got that
broke
secret
the trust.
between y'all,
If it ain't
I mean,
his, then
that's
she already
fine.
broke
She
that
lying, you lying. So boom, that just cancels that both out. But I just feel like, hey, it should be put on the table.
Well, he
Yeah,
ain't
is
lied.
this
Though.
yours?
He ain't lied. He just secretly got a paternity
And she
test.
just secretly got some other dick. So
But he ain't lied.
But that's
She
the
the one-
act
She the one who been lying. He ain't lied. You know what I'm saying? The doctor came up here. Hey, finally, you want?
Because I mean, he wanted to know the information for himself.
right,
You know, it's not like he was like, "Nah, I'm not going to take the test." It's not like he said that to her.
Right.
yeah.
It was presented on the table. It was like, you know what?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get that, bro.
Just as the same as other D was presented to her table, she decided to
Because
take
last
it.
time
Right.
we got in the argument, she said, "Your little dick ass can never satisfy me anyway." So yeah, let me go ahead and goddamn get this.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and get this goddamn test real.
I'm like, well, that's okay. Ain't my baby, so that's all.
That's right.
I'll be okay with that. D with no baby.
Hey,
That works.
have
If
fun
it ain't-
taking care of your seed.
I'm free. I'm free, damn it.
Hey,
Facts.
My options open back up.
About to go swing this little one
And
somewhere.
you know what?
About to-
And you know what? That's the thing too. I think when a father finds out, like, hey, I ain't the father, he think about all the stuff he could have been doing before now. All that time and energy
Right.
spent into this child that wasn't
But
his.
see, now you're not gonna recoup that time.
You can't. I mean, you can't recoup that
Yeah.
time. Like even when you find out you can't recoup that time, but that's what you're gonna think about. Like, I could have had this whole other life.
That's
You
true.
know.
And that's the pain. But see, that's the pain though. It's like, well, damn. And that's why I said earlier, well, where's my my reparations?
There's
You know,
it's
it's
not.
not
a
where
lot
it
of
is.
money into this.
It is.
There's not.
I mean, it's not, but
I
I'm
mean,
just saying. Yeah, you tell me.
If you, I mean, albeit ignorantly, still made yourself a part of this child's life, technically you were moving with the motions as if things were natural anyway.
Yes.
So, finding out that it's not yours, you honestly, I guess maybe I'm more emotionally invested into the situation, finding out that the child's not mine. I'm gonna be mad, ain't got nothing to do with the child, it'd be with the mother, but at the same time, you still were a part of this individual's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me that if you raising a child as your own,
Yeah.
you don't enjoy every single moment of that time. Well, I'm not gonna say you don't enjoy every single. There's some hard
Yeah.
shit come up being
Yeah.
there, but you know what I'm saying. Like you still got to be. It was a overall, I would assume, positive experience being a part of that child's life.
Mhm.
So to find out that it's not yours, again, like the frustration would not really be to me in the fact that I helped raise this child that's not mine. The frustration would still remain with the woman who was stepping out, doing whatever happened, whatever the situation might have been.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the child, if I find out you're not mine, it doesn't change how I see you. Like if I've had my hand in raising you from day one, like you are technically, if you might not be biologically my child, you're still my child because I raised you as my child. You feel me?
Yeah,
go ahead.
what would your get back be? What would your reparations be though, bro?
I don't know, but like,
What you want to check, like?
but these type of things don't get put into consideration. It's like one of those just what if things.
Right.
Because like I said, the subject in itself doesn't get talked about enough.
I want all
You know,
that.
so it's like,
But time is worth more than money.
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do agree. Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough money would recoup all this time. But it's just one of those things again where it's like, well, you just gotta suck it up. It's like, damn, that's the best you can tell me to do.
I mean,
So let me just say this. In my experience, relationships change. And I say that because, okay, let's just say, for instance, you decide, hey, I'm going to stay in this child's life. I'm going to keep being there, blah, blah, blah. Remember that this child is not yours. Legally, this child is not yours.
Right.
So if she decide, hey, you can't be around my kid or whatever have you, she has the right to do that. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about that.
That would be, I mean, hell, if you want to go that route, that's you being technically the bad guy in this situation, even more so.
No.
Not the father, I'm talking about the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. In
Mother-
my experience,
mother is
relationships change.
Yeah.
So therefore, you could want to be in that child's life as much as you want to, but they made the decision for you. So therefore, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
That
That's
it's,
fair enough.
it's a lose, man.
Right.
It's
There's no,
it's like,
there's
what
no
do you
win
do?
out of this situation. Now, as far as reparations, you just lost. Like, you got to charge that to the game.
No amount of money is going to
Like,
give you back that time.
I mean,
when
yeah.
you're
where you at
15,
with reparations
You
to play
know?
with right now? You feel me?
Can't go back.
There's
Well, I mean,
no,
yeah.
there ain't. It's not plausible that that's going to happen.
And that's-
Nobody alive
I got
today was involved with that situation. Nobody alive today lived through slavery in that situation. So as far as like looking for repentance from hundreds of years ago, we're talking about Lil Nas X happened 3-4 weeks ago, and where's that in your feed now? Nowhere.
Right, nowhere.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's the
And I don't
culture
even
we're
speak.
in.
Yeah, and I don't even speak on as far as reparations, as far as slavery go, because
Right.
for one, we ain't never experienced
Right.
that shit before.
Right.
So what? How would we even know how do we even know what the feeling up to be?
Now,
is-
my boy.
We're still
Well,
experiencing.
I mean,
Right.
even
systemically,
not
yes,
necessarily
but-
direct slavery. Like
Yeah.
it's more
Yeah.
of more of an
More
oppression, if you would
systemically.
say.
I mean, with that being said, we were on top because how much
Yeah.
is that really worth? Do we even know how much that is
How
worth?
much? Yeah.
They could give us $500, like, hey, here go your reparations. Then be like, oh, okay.
And
But
then
we don't know
spend it
what
on
it's
some
worth.
shit.
I mean,
too.
technically, 300 years ago, $500 was a fortune. So they gave
Yep.
you what you missed. You feel me? Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So there's
Yeah.
But that's a whole.
That's
That's a whole
different topic.
Probably what?
Well,
Intellectual interaction?
hell, not necessarily, because I mean, technically, we trying
Hold
to.
on. We gonna talk about NASA
We started.
and the kids.
That's what I'm coming to. Like,
horses now.
as far as my situation goes, in that direction, we gonna not try not to dig too deep into that. But as far as like where my name comes from, are you the father? There was some things that happened in some slavery days where my name comes from. My natural name would not be Brashear if it had not been for a certain somebody in a position over somebody else doing something. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, but there were people that came. There were people that had their names changed not because they were biologically connected to somebody. They were changed because, all right, now you serve me, so this is your last name.
Right. Yeah.
My name comes from actual interactions, and then the Brashears kept on descending into what we are today.
Okay.
But so who is, are you the father is definitely I guess a question for my situation in that point. But as far as looking for reparations in that like I said, in that standpoint, if you trying to find something for fatherhood, stand in line. Just like I said in the last episode, there's a whole bunch of people waiting for shit like that pop off, and where we at?
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
but like I said, the laws being put in place, I feel, although effective and necessary, are not going to be openly accepted. Like, because again, wrong time, wrong climate. Like, this is already cancel culture. So you throw something up and everybody's red flagging that shit off the rip. Like, especially like I said, 2021 feminists are on a whole nother level. Like, they wow.
Yeah,
so as far like even like there was who was it, Alabama or something passed a bill last year, and legit instantly as soon as the bill was passed, I'm getting inboxed about shit from angry females talking about, oh, I can't believe they did this and blah blah blah, and it's just like that, and I'm just like, I had no control over that. B, how do you not see where that might necessarily be a point worth growing with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the women that argue my body, my choice, and blah blah blah. And like I said, that argument is strong, and it's very hard to combat because it is their body. But at the same time, if you're, I guess for lack of a better phrase, giving your body to me while we're doing this, technically we're equal roles in this situation. So, and then this is what bothers me about today. God, man, I be shitting on today's generation, but like, this is what bothers me about today's generation, where it's like, I get to be mad and say how I feel. I don't give a fuck if it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got the man coming into a situation blindly, like you could have done whatever with so and so yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And now we here in this bed today, and I feel like there's no real conversation happening before physical interaction. Like, there should be, to me, like, I'm not going to say, like, every situation, calls for it, but there should be some sort of conversation about the circumstance. Look, bro, like, we doing this, especially if you saying we ain't using protection, blah, 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 blah. Like, we doing this. Like, we need I don't want to sound that way. But at the same time, like,
might have to happen.
If we laying down doing this, then we need to understand what the circumstances are with the situation. Like, there's so many angry fathers out there talking about, like, okay, well, I could have had a child aborted. I raise my hand, I'm a part of that crowd. You feel me? Like, so.
Okay.
So when it comes to something like that, the father is literally ain't got shit to say about it. Like, I don't want this baby in my body. It goes and gets taken care of, and a want-to-be father has a child taken from him. You know what I'm saying? We sitting here and we doing the do, but ain't worried about all the consequences. And then some consequences come up, and you slap the easy button. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like that. And this is where it becomes sensitive with the woman's body. It's her, her body, her choice, or whatever. So it's hard to argue from the father's standpoint, like, hey, like, I understand you don't want the kid, but I do. Like, in my situation, as much as I want to be a father, if I come across, a female that gets pregnant, she says she don't want the baby, I'm going to be like, are you sure? Because, like, I mean, if you don't want the baby, like, are you willing to at least carry it? Because I'll be the daddy. You feel me? Like, if, like, we could do that. Okay. But at the same time, because these laws are just now becoming into effect, there's so many fathers that got eliminated before they even had the shot to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's not fair from the father's standpoint.
So, to the women in the room, so would you say for some women that decide they want to have an abortion,
They're
they
convening right now. They're talking about the topic.
So this is what I was gonna say. So for some of these, for some of the women that, okay, let's just say they go forward with, they have a child or whatever. You take a child on, blah blah blah.
Right.
So I feel like, of course I'm not a woman, but I feel like I'm, to say that, hey, maybe I don't want to go through that in my body physically.
Right.
Whether or not,
Right.
it's having a child and giving it to you, maybe I just don't want to go through that process.
Right.
And
You still laid down and had unprotected sex. To me, you led yourself to this situation and should have knowingly led yourself to this situation. To cop out and say, I don't want the consequences to the actions that we partook in.
Gotcha.
To me, that's a cop out and that's not fair. Like you should be held accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
And there is very thin and scarcely present accountability.
Unprotected sex though. Maybe
But-
condom bust.
I mean, at that point, then that becomes, a complicated situation where you can talk it out.
Yeah.
But if you laying down together and you have an unprotected sex, especially if you exclusively ask for unprotected sex, because that's, in my experience, I don't like condoms. I don't either. What's up? You know what I'm saying? So
Maybe she's on birth control.
Birth control.
well, I mean,
too.
and y'all are a prime example of that, where birth control sometimes has its faults, and then that's again a complication that needs to be discussed.
But you still gotta take heed
for
of
you to
Big
just
Sean.
be out here fucking doing whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
to, and then as soon as consequences come up and you get to slap the easy button and say delete that,
Yeah.
that's not fair.
I
Like, you know
don't
what I'm
think
saying?
I was
it's
happy
easy
to
per
say
se.
I mean, some females do actually have an issue with going ahead and having the abortion or whatever. But I'm saying they still have the right within themselves to make that decision. And if we're both in this situation, and especially like any female that's been with me knows I want to be a father. If we're in this situation and we're doing the things that could possibly lead to having a baby, when it comes to, oh, I'm actually pregnant, and then all of a sudden, please.
She wouldn't be able to do that if she was married.
Well, I mean,
I
A
don't
woman
know.
wouldn't be able to get an abortion when she's married without the husband's consent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for real?
Facts.
I think
well, I mean,
Facts.
but the
Yeah.
ratio
I know
of
that.
married
That's
to
good.
Yeah,
unmarried
but if
sex
you're not married,
happening is at an
you have no
all-time
sex
high
life.
these days. Like,
But that'll be the only thing.
right? I mean, that would be the only out. But I'm saying, like, as far as like what we're looking at in reality today, the ratio between married sex and unmarried sex is at an all-time high for unmarried sex right now. Like, legitimately, these folks are out here just. I feel like dead ass. They get home from work. You know what? I feel like going to catch me one tonight. You know what I'm saying? And go do it. And it might be hell. They might get a train. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit happens.
Like just Odell Beckham.
You feel me? Like, and so I feel like if you're willing and clearly, participating in, intercourse and things like that, specifically unprotected, that there should be more, at least some sort of barrier or obstacle to go through before you can just say, all right, yeah, delete, done. Like, I'm not pregnant no more, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who actually wants to be a father. Like, that's something, again, like the girls that have been with me, they knew I wanted to be a father, and if something like that happens, I got you. Like, I'm gonna be the daddy. I ain't one of these deadbeats that's about to be like, oh damn, I'm gonna skip out before the baby gets here.
Sure,
And, which funny, but but I mean, in my personal experiences, the father decided, decided they want to skip out on that. But either way, like I said,
But if you feel so passionate about it, I think you should come up with. I mean, you should talk with the female about that, because if I were dating you and I become pregnant, I'm going to abort the baby because I don't want it, Cause I'm not going to go through 9 months carrying your child.
Right. Which that's why I said the argument is hard to go against, because it's your body, your choice.
Exactly.
And he didn't have no say so.
From the father's perspective, that is a very unfair advantage that you have.
Then you should bring that up and make sure that's
It is.
consensual.
I discuss. I'm talking about what happens in the world today.
But this is my thing though. Can you really have that conversation just off the cuff, like, hey, I just fucked you for the night? Are we gonna have that conversation like, hey, look, if you end up getting pregnant, I want the baby.
But I'm just saying. But if we talk about on the first night, I'm not gonna have that
conversation like, yo, we fuck, you got a baby, like, I want that child. Now,
I mean, Slick kind of had. Go ahead, Kelsey.
I was about to say it's as much as the baby. The father is as the baby is as much as the father as it is the female. Right. Yes, her body, but she wouldn't have a baby in her body without
that.
Yes,
right.
Yeah. So it is your baby as much as hers.
Exactly.
I don't think it's fair for her to make that decision on her own because it's not just your baby.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Which is why I'm saying, from the father's perspective, that's a completely unfair advantage. And
to have that option,
that's just my stance on the whole argument. To me, like, the new laws might be somewhat kind of overstepping some personal boundaries, but at the same time, I feel like, especially with where today's climate is, it's almost necessary considering everything that's going on as far as like the general populace just kind of doing whatever they're gonna do. Yeah. But in the same breath, I feel like, just to further my stance on that, if you're willing to partake in the events that lead to a pregnancy, then you should deal with that. Now, again, I think we've spoken on it a couple times as far as like there's special cases where it's like, if it's forced, forced things, then by all means, do what you gotta do. Yeah. But as far as like a consensual experience between two people, especially, like, I'm not saying, because people don't sit there and talk about shit like this before they get to it.
But me and Vincent had conversations like that.
And that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. And but as far as what goes on overall in the world today, that's not, these conversations aren't had. It's just like, oh, I'm having a good time, I feel like fucking, we about to fuck, we fuck, then boom. Like, that's what it is. And I'm not judging that, but I'm saying, like, if you're gonna live that fast and loose, live by your consequences too. Like, have some conviction about yourself to be loose. I mean, you ain't doing it loose. You ain't. It ain't nothing tight about the shit. Oh, hey, you look bad. You trying to smash? Boom, done. You know what I'm saying? That's loose as fuck. That's fly by the seat of your pants. Spur of the moment type shit happening right there. That's loose. But
no friction.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing judgment. I'm not trying to be condescending about nothing like that. But I'm saying, if you do participate in a lifestyle similar to that, live with your consequences. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fair for you to be able to smack an easy button when a situation arises due to what you've done, and you get to just backspace delete that without talking to both parties that were involved in this situation.
Because the older generation always tell you that, if you're able to lay down with someone, then you're able to take care of
handle what comes after. Exactly.
So, I mean, that was always preached to us, beforehand. But, like you said, I do think generation now, they have that easy button now. They don't have to go through that phase to where, oh, no, I didn't keep child because of what I was taught. They just like, nah, I don't want to go. There you go. So,
that hurts.
Well,
that hurts, too. I mean, just to have that, it's like, just what you're talking about, just the guy that wants to be in the kid's life, to have that stripped away from him, that's just, that's a different kind of hurt. Multiple times. Oh, well, okay. got you. But, just all the same. Huh? Just all the same, just to have that stripped away from you. It's like you just get no say so.
Right.
But yet and still you're the one that,
you guys sit there and take it.
Yeah, you took it. You're the one that fertilized the egg.
You don't get no type of
can't see your harvest.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, gone.
It's just gone. And then
it does hurt. It does tell you that right here.
Okay, got you. Got you. And and society tells us to suck it up.
Exactly. And like I said, it's just very and I get it, because men do share a lion's share of the power in society, and so there should be a definitely closure of the gap between the power, but at the same time, where there are certain situations such as this, I feel like it's more sensitive than just overall broad spectrum type shit. Like, these are special situations that should be paid more attention to and actually discussed more thoroughly instead of, just kind of like, okay, well, y'all can have that.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
but I think all in all, is people just need to stop being afraid to talk to people about things.
Facts. Communication.
Communication.
And the wild thing is, the wild thing is,
we get to what they'll explain it though.
Well, I mean, I guess, because this just with this whole topic, just what this whole video is about, it's a taboo subject. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to talk about paternity tests.
Right.
You know, a man doesn't want to go to his lady with doubts of, you know, this
What's
child,
going on, yeah.
right, of this child possibly not being mine.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to talk about this stuff. We just want to go on with life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, be that's hey. You said that particular
to me, that's
trait is weak.
If you can't stand up and be an adult and actually talk about adult issues, then you
because it's a serious issue.
You're not where you need to be
mentally,
maturely, however you want to approach that subject. If you can participate in the activities, then you need to be adult enough to stand up and deal with what that situation brings.
Yeah, which is facts, you know. That's why I would say, you know, people just need to stop being afraid to talk about these type of things, and then just.
And then showing up talking that hot shit in the inbox.
You feel me? Right? Because
you know what I'm saying. You're all about talking about that shit.
Yeah.
And then, but you ain't into talking about what could possibly happen after you talking about this.
That's right.
Like,
But
that's right.
In society, ain't nobody gonna have that real conversation like, yeah, girl, I'm feeling you. I can't wait to hit it. Hey, but you know, before we do this, you know, you got any contraceptives on you? Like, we gonna do this the right way? If not, I don't know if I can proceed with this endeavor.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be that verbatim.
It doesn't have to be. It needs to be like, all right, so you asked for no protection. Are you prepared to deal with these
just to carry out the actions?
Like, if I fire off at you, you gonna delete? Or what's
so
up?
basically, you come in and say, hey, I'm a shooter. I'm just letting you know.
You're like facts. Like we shoot from long range out here.
That's what, like Tupac would say, busting shots blindly. Like
right.
if you're just doing that, then
right.
of course you're not gonna say nothing about it. You're not thinking.
Right.
You're not thinking far ahead.
And those are the types of people that, like, you know, legitimately, if faced with paternity issues, would be like, nah, I'm straight on that. Like, and then let whatever's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Which is where most of the world. That's what page most of the world is on today. But that's, to me, not necessarily the right way to go about things.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I guess maybe, you know, I'm an old head or I'm stuck in old-fashioned ways or whatever, but to me, there needs to be, like, I have no judgment for your lifestyle, but I do feel like that, like, if I was living your lifestyle, I would still feel the need to have the conviction to stand behind the lifestyle that I'm living and to, you know, be able to do what you want, live as you please, and just be able to just skate through whatever obstacles come through as far as, like, you know, pregnancy and stuff like that, and be like, oh, you know what, I don't think I'm ready for a kid. Let's go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's you know, there needs to be some sort of, at least, system involved to, like, not make it difficult for you to make, you know, to make that decision, but at least have you really think about it. Like, and I understand, like, in today's times, I know they do, they make you listen to the heartbeat before you do it and all that shit.
Yeah.
But, like, when you talking about with most people today, they're so, like, society is so desensitized to so many sensitive things that listening to the heartbeat ain't really phasing too many people anymore. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, collectively, I feel like we're, you know, cut from a different fabric than what, you know, most people are, because, you know, most people, even talking to us, are like, damn, y'all different. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, my stance is firm on that. But I do understand where there is a legitimate argument to the situation, so I don't expect it to go easily.
I don't think it really, like you made mention of, or maybe you just all ahead and think tradition. No, don't you just want to know?
Right.
You know, there is
just
that,
curious, just wanting to know.
Yeah, don't you just want to know? Don't you just want to have some sort of information? You know, does it not? You can't. You know, people can't say that shit like this doesn't cross their mind.
Right.
You know, or whatever they're doing, they could be at a job. They could be at their job. They could be somewhere else. You know, and this type of shit doesn't somewhere, you know, cross their mind. Yeah. So I don't think it's really more of an old head or old thing, an old tradition of way of thinking. You know,
it's just
you're just curious.
It's not generally it's not common in today's society thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, most people are literally living off impulses. What feels right now?
Facts.
What's going to give me this instant gratification? What's going to, you know what I'm saying? That's what's pretty much page the society's on right now.
Got it.
And with that being said, these new things that are making people actually think and talk about stuff like that is causing an uproar, because, like, oh, that's difficult. Fuck that. No, this is my body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so
like, that's cool and all, but you know, you still gotta.
And time out. I gotta pee.
Okay. All right.
Well, we about to end off anyway. I'm gonna make my stance clear. Like I said earlier before, if my child's 35 and I find out I'm not the father, it's too late now. But if at 3 I find out the child's not mine, and I say 3 because it's just like a
I'm not filming, by the way.
Huh?
The camera's filming, but your phone not filming.
My phone light's still on. You sure?
Yeah, I paused it.
Why did you pause it?
Because yeah.
Oh, I know. You could
Okay.
roll. Yeah.
Okay, it's filming again.
Yeah. See, you ain't me behind the camera. So
we trust your God tier editing skills, man. You good?
So at the end of the day, man, I just feel like, okay, just say for instance at 3 years old I find out my child is mine, bro, my heart breaking. Like it's gonna hurt me to no extent or whatever, and I don't even know if I can move forward to keep saying that child is my child because it's like I was lied to and I found out that child isn't mine. I don't know if I can continue on the same way as I did before.
Kelsey got a point.
I was about to say, regardless of what age they are, y'all would have some type of love or attachment to that child.
Yes.
So it's not going to be, even though you'll be hurt, it's not going to be easy to walk away from that child.
Right. But that's why I say it will break my heart regardless.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is at 35, yeah, it's gonna break my heart, but you 35.
Yeah.
You my child. It's too late.
That's a lot of
now,
years.
Even 3, you still in my heart. You my child, but it's gonna break my heart to like, I can't continue on like that.
Yeah.
3,
because now you have to make a decision.
Don't matter. Somebody getting shot.
Why somebody get shot?
Because like, come on, bro. You had me believing that was my kid. Somebody getting shot.
Why somebody get shot?
Whether
What's
it's the female or the male that you had sex with, one of y'all getting shot. The kid ain't getting shot. The kid, that's my boy, my girl, with whatever age, 3 all the way to 35. Of course, I'm still be in the kid's life. But
so you're choosing to be in the kid's life.
of course. Like, come on, bro. Like,
so by that logic, you cannot be mad. You can no longer be mad because now you're deciding to be.
Who can't be mad? Like, you. Somebody getting shot.
But what's the point of doing that?
Somebody getting shot, but you still gonna stay.
You still gotta go to the mother to
Only sort of respect for a relationship, because legitimately, like, it's females all over my feed talking about, oh, these taking men all up in my inbox or blah blah, or I got somebody, please get out my inbox, blah blah. These dudes don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They can see the dude in your damn profile picture and still hit you up. Like that's literally. That comes with the territory of being with somebody that's desirable. You should already know that there's going to be advances, there's going to be tries, there's going to be shit like that. Yeah. And you should also know that if they're willing to try, as soon as your girl or whoever decides they want to actually entertain that, it then becomes that person's fault, not the dude necessarily. You can be mad at the dude, but again, it still falls on the female for letting that dude in.
Mm-hmm. I take back what I said. I'm beating everybody's ass.
I mean,
we already that was already that was
I don't even care if you knew about me or not, nigga. Like, if you had the audacity to walk up in the crib, he invited you in the crib, and you seen my clothes, and you seen my shoes, and you seen the pictures and shit on the wall.
But Katniss involved though.
Man,
that's
bro,
the only thing
both. After I beat his ass, I'm gonna give my wife or girlfriend a serious, strong talking to, and then
strong talking.
Yeah, and then
strongly worded.
I ain't gonna beat her ass because I don't beat women, but I will let her know that, man. I put everything in here. You do this to me, I'm gone. Peace out.
Good luck with that.
Then I'm gonna pull up at his house.
You ain't gotta do all
Hey,
that.
bro. Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Boom! Light up. What's up, nigga? Get your bitch ass.
You ain't gotta do all that.
Boom, boom.
Well, technically, at that point, you're wrecking your own life at that point.
Exactly.
Call the cops.
You're on his property.
It was your girl.
Exactly.
It was your turn.
You handle when this is your house. You don't go to his house.
Yeah,
Right. You all right?
But you don't know what that man
all
got.
right. Get her
That man
phone.
got a whole shotgun.
Text the nigga to come over through her phone. He come to my crib. Then it's on. You feel what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom.
It wasn't your girl, man. It was just your turn.
So we definitely veered completely off. This is a
Way off.
This is a segment in
We're so
itself.
sorry.
Yeah. But back to your point, and like I feel like as far as that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Still going. So as far as cheating and all that, whatever, nothing has changed. This is the same thing that's been going on throughout. It's just
Openly
a copycat.
more.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's
Even
easier
if
to
you
expose.
say openly. I mean, I'll just say now, with social media, it's so much easier to expose people versus back then where, hey, if it was happening, you didn't have to do so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mama. You lasted this long. Mama, I love you. I love you. Go ahead, moonwalk over there. Go ahead. You got it.
Alright, come on.
But yeah, like, you know, it's, but you know,
Y'all wild, man. Y'all
but
wild.
essentially, you know, nothing has changed. It's something that's been going on. It's just been more so focused on at this point.
Yeah.
But woo, this whole little section here.
We're sorry, y'all.
I mean, if all,
hey, it's raw. You know,
it is raw.
Raw,
Like,
uncut,
I told y'all that a
unscripted.
lot, man. None of
Yep.
this stuff is, you know,
None of it's
scripted.
scripted.
We just
Yep.
go for it.
right.
So, I mean, if our hearts, minds are clear, man, I know I want to get into my wife's experience if she's willing to put it out there before we wrap up.
I feel like we kind of talked about it.
There we go.
She put her 2 cents in. Like,
She put her 2 cents in,
Give
but
us
she
a dollar,
didn't-
but like,
She,
you know,
she put a couple change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. It's fine.
I mean, I'm sure we'll eventually find a topic close enough to bring it back to home. And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know. We only have 2 more, 3 more episodes, and
Yeah,
we'll
but-
see where we go from
Yeah, we
there.
got 3
oh,
more.
so we gonna. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
Anyway, we might be touching back on that topic to bring it back.
Yeah, next episode, beating that.
Beating that.
Facts.
By Phil
tuned.
Keaton.
Stay tuned.
We have a whole. We ain't even gonna be on camera.
I mean,
if
we talking about,
you know me in the background.
Puts and mouths around here.
Like I said, if we talk about known associates, then we might be on the same page. We can co-host, but as far as random strangers and shit like that, then the blame is all on the female. Like,
Oh
there's,
yeah, you
like,
can place the blame all on the female, but bro, you mad
Your
at that
frustration
point.
is
You
definitely-
Wait, I mean, yeah, you mad.
I get
So
it.
you talking from a point of rage, and I
Come
get
on,
that.
We got
bro,
that.
you
I
get
get
that.
that.
We got
You-
that.
Y'all
We got
can't tell me y'all is not about to be like, oh,
We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh,
We don't know.
Yeah.
Man, bro, I'll be
Until
in
been in
my
this situation.
Man,
Yeah,
look,
You might be calm as hell. It might happen to you just like, huh? Well,
if I'm calm as hell, you should be even more
You should
shit.
be scared, yeah.
That's
No, I'm just
worse.
scaring folks when the shit go down, and I just sit there like,
Your face.
It's
worse,
like,
bro.
like, shoot.
But again, I feel like known associates is that's sort of a special case. We're talking about random occurrences at this point, or random people that don't know about you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So in that case, I understand being mad. Like as far as like a known associate, but like randoms, that's all on the female. Like she knows you, she's
Yeah,
loyal
she's
to you.
tired,
She
yeah.
supposed to be loyal to you. She has
She fighting
connections to you.
But
But this, I mean,
Why?
that's why
Why would
that's
you
why
say
the
that?
phrase "crimes of passion" is a thing. Like, legitimately, that's what it's about. A spouse coming home and catching infidelity or whatever, and then acting however they're going to act. And I don't know, perhaps that's how you really feel. Maybe move to Texas, because if you shoot somebody because they slept with your significant other,
That's
you're straight.
law.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's law. but otherwise, you're technically and fairly overall not supposed to pursue the person that stepped into your relationship. You're supposed to go after the person who allowed that person to step into your relationship, and not just you're not righted to do anything to the person that disrespected your relationship. You can be mad and express yourself, but you're still, which is what I guess age has shown wisdom to me, whereas you reckon your life based off of a decision other people made. You can and that's shit that's happened to me my whole life, as far as like me, following other people's, well-being, welfare, and everything like that. Don't ruin your life based off of some stupid shit somebody else did. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Like, don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm about to shoot them up, bang, bang, because, they did all this, that, and the third. Okay, well, you shot them up, bang, bang. Now you got to deal with somebody trying to poke your butthole in prison for the rest of your life.
And somebody else could be
Still,
doing-
and
yeah.
you in prison now. So guess what that female doing?
Somebody
She out
gotta
there
fill the
throwing it to
void.
everybody, take it. You know what I'm saying?
At that
So-
point, I killed the dude. So
I mean, I guess you get your gratification, but at the same time, your
Somebody
quality
else
of life
then-
has drastically taken a turn because of your reaction to somebody else's decision.
And then somebody different got to fill the void.
25 years don't sound that bad.
This motherfucker, this guy.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now before we close. The only reason I'm going to jail is somebody bring harm to my wife or my son.
Facts.
I'm going to jail then. So
Yeah.
whatever come with me. But
Same thing. Same for this one.
Yeah.
That's
that jail, boy.
Facts.
Yeah, they
You
gonna
touch
put
my
me
daughter or
solitary,
my
bro.
wife, boy. Shit.
Same one for a living, especially she a girl too. Yeah, absolutely.
It's over with.
Absolutely.
She might as well give me the death chill, boy.
Hey,
Hey,
you gonna have to.
You gonna have to.
You just
So they gonna
have
buy,
to.
did you do it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Chopped
do
his
this?
body up, threw it over the river. All
Yes.
that. Damn sure did.
Absolutely.
Have fun.
Right.
Enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Laughing.
I recorded this shit that
Video on the phone, right?
That's me.
Number 2 trending topic.
That's rated on damn Disney Channel. Yep, that's me.
City on the camera. Chopping off a leg, like.
I bet that'll be your last adultery. Like,
Don't feel the least bit bad about it
At
at all.
Oh.
Nope.
Hey, that's
Every
just
finger
let
sad
off,
part.
every
I ain't gonna say
stomach
sad
off.
part about it, but at all, I wouldn't feel no type
no,
of way.
like, and that's how again, sidebarring from the topic, like, that's how you know.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, as far as like, not feeling bad about it, that's technically what the whole world is about, not feeling bad about shit that they do. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that brings back to the case where this dude doesn't feel bad about stepping into your relationship because the woman who's in the relationship is disrespecting the relationship.
No.
I actually feel bad. I feel bad later on. Somebody did something to my wife or my daughter and I fucked around and I took their life.
No, see, now at
I
that
would
point,
feel bad later on because I'm not
That's
God
not
and I
necessarily-
played God that day.
that's
I
not
can't take
necessarily where I'm
somebody's
coming from. I'll stand in front of anyone and stand on my argument as far as like, if you wrong me based on how I carry myself, I'm not going out of my way to harm anybody.
Yeah.
If you harm me and you come for the life of me or the ones that I care about, you officially crossed the line that I'm righted to do how I see fit, and I will not feel bad about that. That's just like us going to battle. If you the bad guy shooting at me, and I shoot you and hit you and kill you first, I understand, you might have some rough times about it, later on down the line. If you effectively tried to take my life, or or take the life of the people around me, and I took your life, I feel no remorse for that. Like, you legitimately, if it's me and you, I promise you, if it winds up being you in the ground, I'm standing up here like, well, you shouldn't have fucked around. You found out.
Such a bitch.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is gonna be a segment in itself, man.
Right.
We need to go ahead and chop this out, 'cause I don't know how much battery life we got left.
Right.
So,
But I mean, I feel like we got enough on target content to.
at least an hour's worth, and then 40 minutes of it has been killing and chopping
Come on,
things
bro.
up.
That wasn't 40 minutes.
Anybody got
I mean, from you,
your whole rant?
Boy, you had a
I
whole
feel like
rant.
that was like 15.
Like, if ain't nobody heard you talk before, they heard you
They
talk
heard you
tonight.
talk this-
That was
yeah.
15 to 20 right there. 15.
The user started this show
You think so?
tonight.
15 to 20 minutes.
Well, especially when she was like, "Oh, the camera just went out." I was like, "Oh yeah, we good. The phone's still going."
Nah, that was when oh yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
That was
Been going for a while,
Exactly.
guys.
Like 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah, so I just make a little side video of like
Yeah.
killing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Right. Crimes of passion.
Crimes. Yeah. Oh, that.
Hey,
Perfect
there
time.
we go.
Crimes of
There we
passion.
go.
You know what?
We actually
You know
could
what?
do that, yeah.
I can squeeze that out.
Yeah.
I can make that work.
Yeah, we can rock that.
So,
All right.
as far as closing remarks on my end, as far as paternity tests, as far as paternity tests,
I'm all in.
I am all in. As far as making it mandatory, I believe there should be some sort of option, where
I'm all in.
okay, fine,
that's fair.
but at least give us the option to say yay or nay. You know what I mean? I'll be more comfortable with that as far as but like I said, all in the same is still going to eliminate the guesswork, and and the confusion. And
I
things
mean,
like
there's
that.
a productive means of
why,
what I'm saying?
of
to
why
do
we got to,
something like that,
And hey, sometimes, and if the woman doesn't, feels a certain way about, hey, y'all just got to be two adults and talk about.
I mean,
and talk it out.
In my mind, where my head goes with, well, why are you so sensitive about it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like,
if it's
like,
a problem,
like,
okay, maybe I might need to take this damn test.
Like,
Hey man, you pretty passionate about this.
Right.
Let me go ahead and
Let me go ahead and
yeah,
take this
I'm okay.
paternity
Run that real
where the
Run it
Q-tips
real
at?
quick. Oh, ain't gonna come to bill? No, that's okay. I'll come out of pocket for it.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
So maybe I might need to take this damn test.
Mhm.
But but I guess as far as mandatory, that can go up in the air. I'm not for it or against it, but I would feel a little bit more comfortable
Yeah.
if I can have the option where if I know for a fact that is okay,
There it is.
there it is. But like if I know for a fact that the baby is mine, I can say no. But if I'm not entirely sure, I do have the option to say yes.
Mhm.
Let me go ahead and take this paternity test real quick. And like I said, both parties, if one party feels a certain way, just like the other way, y'all just got to be two consenting adults, and talk about the problems, because that's the basis of the relationship.
Stand up to you.
Hey, it's just gonna have to be friction, but talk
Right.
about it.
Ooh, scary friction.
Yep.
Like, you
right.
know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
like we're not running.
Stand
No beating either. No.
What you got
Talking
closing
about
remarks?
conviction.
My closing remarks, man, other than beating ass, dog. I'm for the whole paternity thing for fathers, paternity test for fathers. Yeah, I mean, mandatory, I can see, it causing a problem, but still, I'm for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it, man. Shoot, I feel like fathers need to know, too.
Ooh, go ahead, go to sleep, girl. Go to sleep.
Fathers need to know, right? Fathers need to know,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. And I agree. Yeah, fathers do need to know.
I'm for it.
You for it?
Yeah.
Mandatory or just
I'm leaning more towards mandatory.
all right.
Okay.
So you got somebody else side. Hey.
Just because I know the kid side, that really fucked me up. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That's right. That's true. That's right.
but that went so off topic. I couldn't just bring it back to topic.
Yeah, we already.
Yeah,
we done made a topic for this segment. We just had crimes of passion. So that's the topic in itself. Anything from you?
I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've made my firm stance known on the situation. Like I understand where there could be some backlash and push against mandatory, and and like I said, I'm not necessarily gonna say full blown go mandatory, that I stand behind it, because again, that is her body, and I understand where that argument comes from. But at the same time, I do feel as though that it's not necessarily a bad thing, for the father to be sure that it's his child.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like there should not be any argument left on the table for a whole human coming into the world on definites on what the parents and what the whole situation is. I feel like that's something that's healthy. That's something that needs to actually be. Now, like I said, maybe mandatory is a bit much. I'm not going to say enforced, but I do definitely think that it should be something at least on the table when the baby is born.
Yes.
So all I was gonna say is, because you said it's her body, but you know what I'm saying, I think that only falls in the category for abortion. But
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's
paternity
fair.
tests, I mean, they ain't even touching your body.
Well,
All
yeah,
they
I
do
mean,
is
once the baby comes out,
all they do is
fair.
put
Baby,
a cotton swab in
I
baby mouth.
Cool,
and
but
dad mouth.
there's a whole lot of women that still throw that same protection. I grew that person. I grew that baby.
If it wasn't for me, that baby wouldn't be grown. So,
But see,
yes,
now
go
with
ahead
that,
and stick
but that's where
go ahead,
that's why we need the
cotton
option.
swab in her mouth, and stick it in my mouth, so I can know if this is my child.
But that's why we need this option. That's why I do feel like this option needs to be had at the hospital.
I don't
So
see a
you're
problem.
not 100%
like I said,
wrong.
I don't see a problem with it being mandatory though.
I think he'd be the one getting hot in this topic.
Mm.
I said, I didn't think he'd be the one getting hot in this topic.
Hey, I'm mandatory.
It happened.
Man, we proud of you,
So,
man. Like,
right,
you-
he had some shit to say.
Yeah, he has something to say.
I mean, for me, it's kind of been clear about how I feel about it. I just feel like, if it's been a long-term thing, hey, you love that kid throughout the years. If it happens early, and I feel like it's better it happens early than it happens later.
Yeah.
Because, this, it's going to hurt both ways, but to be going that long and then find out, boom, this kid ain't mine, I feel like that's just like,
Then for the kid,
Yeah,
that's
man.
gonna fuck the kid up
Yeah.
too.
Because you got to sit there and
this
like,
ain't my daddy.
right, yeah, all these years, I taught you how to ride a bike, tie your shoes, bite your daddy. So, I guess I'm
still call him dad, right?
and
Yes.
you be in the back of your head, you like, yeah, right. But you know, this,
Should be yes.
right.
Go ahead, just be.
Right.
But this has definitely been an interesting and broad episode. We thank you for the off-camera guests that was tuning in, saying what they had to say, and then us just for being here, the ones who was able to make it. So with that being said, this is episode 7.
27.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what?
27.
We are up there.
Yeah.
I apologize. See, my crew's keeping me up. Episode 27.
It is 7 technically because it's season 3.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
We are 27. Yeah,
let's
we've
be
been
correct.
Yeah.
So this is episode 27 of The Corner, and this is Are You the Father? So we're gonna call out our off-camera guests. Go ahead and present yourself. Oh, y'all quiet now?
The 2 Kelseys behind the camera.
Oh, y'all ain't even gonna say that.
Oh my.
Oh, neither one of y'all. It's like that.
The dream.
I'm sorry.
This is Chelsea signing out. This is Kel signing out.
So I mean,
The dream.
we got Kels and we got my wife Kelsey behind camera that had a lot of input to put in there, which we appreciate because we definitely want this to be an episode not just more so
Based
geared
from
to
the
men.
fathers.
Yeah,
Shout out
based
to our
on-
wives. You feel me?
Ooh.
Shout out to our wives.
But so just to count it off, man, we're gonna go off from all right. We got
Mac and Olivia.
Right.
Phil.
New cast member.
and you got K1.
Anthony.
And this has been another episode of The Corner, episode 27. Are You the Father? Y'all have a great night. Peace.
Cover your 6.